Some 2024 Daytona 500 rides were announced today. Plus, we have silly season news for drivers like Raja Caruth, Brett Moffitt, Matt DiBenedetto, Frankie Muniz, and more. Plus, what exactly is going on with NASCAR and YouTubers like myself? Is NASCAR content going to be removed from YouTube altogether? We're going to break it all down today on Shifting Gears.
High, push it, checker flag, hell yeah!
What's the caution for? Me?
Can I not push it in?
Stop anybody.
Come on, he's going! Way to go, boys! One hell of a job, man, one hell of a job. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, brand new opening for 2024. I'm excited. I'm Alan Bailey, and before we go any further, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss an upcoming video. And you can go ahead and check out our brand new second YouTube channel, Team Chaos, where you can check out all of the latest gaming and esports content right there. The link is in the description. Plus, a brand new website for ARN. Oh yeah, for 2024. You can now log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. So much to talk about. We're getting ready for 2024. The holidays are only a few days away, so let's break down everything that's going on in the world of NASCAR, starting with AJ Allmendinger. He is back. The Dinger is back for the Daytona 500. He's going to be driving the number 16 for Kaulig Racing. We're hearing that that number 16 car is going to be what it was a few years ago, and that's kind of a rotation of a few different drivers racing it full-time in the Cup Series. Partial schedules for about 3 drivers. AJ Allmendinger will be one of those drivers, with AJ racing on what we're hearing could be all of the super speedway races and obviously the road courses, but you're going to potentially see a couple of other drivers in that number 16. Ty Dillon should be one of those drivers. No surprise there because of Kaulig's ties to RCR. Yeah, Grandpa made a phone call and got his grandson in a car and didn't bother to put his own grandson in one of his own cars. That shows you exactly what Grandpappy thinks about his grandson's driving skills. Way to go, Richard. Way to go. Beard Motorsports number 62 also announced their Daytona 500 plans with Anthony Alfredo, as Fast Pasta is going to be racing at least 4 races in 2024 in the Cup Series for Beard Motorsports, the 2 Daytona races and the 2 Talladega races. Personally, I kind of hope to see them take on the 2 Atlanta races because it's in the same realm, but it's a very small race team. Last season, they only had 1 full-time employee, so resources are a little thin over there, but I'm hoping that Anthony can have a good showing for them. He's a fast driver, really fast pasta, and I do think that they will have a decent showing. They do have a partnership with Chevrolet and with RCR for 2024 from what we understand, so it should be a pretty good little ride, but again, it's a super speedway race, so the big one's always a threat. Hopefully they have a good showing, though. Last week, we found out that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be running the full Xfinity Series schedule with Kaulig Racing in the number 97, and then he's going to be doing some Cup races for Trackhouse, but now we're hearing he's going to be running at least 1 ARCA race coming at Daytona in February. And what makes this interesting is normally NASCAR, in order to run an Xfinity or a truck or even a Cup race at Daytona, particularly Daytona 500 weekend, you need to run the ARCA race in order to prove to NASCAR, hey, I can handle myself in the draft on a 2.5-mile oval. Here's the proof. But what's interesting this year is the ARCA race is happening the Saturday morning of the Xfinity race. So essentially, SVG is going to be running his own mini Daytona 500 that Saturday, running the ARCA race in the morning in order to run the Xfinity race that afternoon. Kind of odd, because if he wrecks out or has a mechanical issue in the ARCA race, does that mean that he can't run the Xfinity race? No. Not really. NASCAR essentially is going to let him run that Xfinity race even if he has an issue on lap 2 of that ARCA race, and it's an ARCA race at Daytona, so it's very likely there will be issues on lap 2 of that race. But it's just odd that Trackhouse is entering him, that NASCAR is asking Trackhouse, I should say, to enter him in this ARCA race, but best of luck to him. Any experience you can get on a plate track is good for you as a driver. I'm excited to see what SVG is going to do in 2024, running that NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule and running some Cup races. I'd like to see him in some truck races just to get the experience in another vehicle that's similar to a Cup car. But again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens with his schedule. I'm pretty sure they're going to add races here and there and move things around depending on his skill set as it develops all season and what becomes available with sponsor dollars. We'll have to wait and see. Congratulations are in order, by the way, to the NASCAR champ, Ryan Blaney, and his girlfriend, Gianna. They got engaged on 12/12, and the announcement came over the weekend. I mean, this has been a long time coming. Congratulations to Ryan. I mean, he's going to be a great NASCAR champ for the sport, and now his personal life is firing on all cylinders. This is awesome. Congrats to the happy couple, and happy holidays to him. This was absolutely no surprise, but Lucas Oil extends its contract with Kyle Busch and RCR well beyond the 2024 season. I was at Fontana when he won that first race, and I was actually on pit road and standing next to people from Lucas Oil, and the things that they were saying tells me that Kyle Busch is their driver moving forward. They've partnered with RCR for decades, and they've never really had a driver that they've latched onto. Yes, they've sponsored a handful of drivers, and they've been fairly happy with those drivers, but Kyle Busch feels like their guy right now over there at Lucas Oil. What that looks like on the racetrack, not sure. We don't have an exact number figure on the number of races, but we're hearing it's going to be at least 3 to 5 in that ballpark. But again, we'll have to wait and see how the year progresses. Now, the real reason you've watched this long. Silly season news. Yeah, we've known there's a couple of rides that are undefined, especially in the truck and the Xfinity series. Raja Carruth, he made a start for Hendrick Motorsports in the Xfinity series at Phoenix in the season finale, and he did a respectable job, really respectable. And the question is where does he go with his truck team folding at the end of 2023? No real plans have been announced for Raja yet, but he's indicating that he's going to be full-time in the truck series. We're hearing that he is finalizing this deal with sponsor dollars, and he's just not saying yet where he's going. We're anticipating it's going to be a Chevy team. I'm hearing it could be that Spire car, and he could be in a Spire truck, either in the 77 or the 7 or the 4, depending on how the number situation kind of works itself out over at Spire, running at least 2 full-time truck programs in 2024. But again, we have to wait and see how things progress. But overall, Raja should be in a pretty good ride and hopefully be running up front in the truck series pretty soon. No information really on Brett Moffitt. He's kind of the driver who we're not sure where he's going to end up. He was racing in the Xfinity Series last season, but Haley Deegan is essentially moving into that car over at AM Racing and taking essentially his whole team, his crew chief, his crew, everybody over there. There was reports that AM Racing would expand to a second car for Brett in 2024, but we're hearing that Ford isn't exactly giving all the resources and the financial support to that team that they initially promised. We're already seeing issues. Go figure. It doesn't really surprise me. A lot of broken promises and things like that tends to come from manufacturers, whether that's Chevy, Ford, or Toyota. It seems to be a common theme amongst all the manufacturers. They all have big ideas and big ambitions and big plans, and they want to run as many cars as they can, but they just don't have the financial dollars to do it. And I do hope to see Brett in a full-time ride somewhere, hopefully over there at AM Racing in 2024, but it doesn't look good for racing that number 25 next season, let's just say. A couple of fan favorites. Frankie Muniz ran in the ARCA series full-time in 2023. Honestly, did an okay job. Mechanical issues, bad luck. A rookie being a rookie, frankly, is what kind of bit him, but there was some growth and there's a lot of potential there for this actor-turned-race car driver. I do think he is going to stay in the Ford camp. I think Ford wants to keep him, but the question is where does he go? Does he go up to the Truck Series? Does he go to the Xfinity Series? We don't really know. Frankie's still working on his plans. He's still pulling sponsor dollars together, and he's looking at all of his options. It is significantly cheaper to run in the Truck Series than in the Xfinity Series, so I do anticipate him either staying in ARCA another year or moving up to the Truck Series, but he's potentially looking at a partial schedule, and that's a shame. But honestly, if I'm Frankie, I'd rather do a partial schedule in the Truck Series than a full-time schedule in ARCA in 2024. But again, we're going to have to wait and see how things play out with him. Another fan favorite that's kind of lost his luster over the past couple of years is Matt DiBenedetto. Now, where is he going? Nowhere. He's going nowhere. I'm being serious. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't have sponsor dollars behind him. He proved he can't get it done in Cup, never really got a whole heck of a lot of chances in Xfinity, and proved he couldn't get it done in the Truck Series. If I'm an owner, why would I sign a driver that is on the back end of his career, just saying, no offense, Matty D, and doesn't have sponsor dollars behind him and doesn't have appeal to sponsors? Why would I hire him? Sincerely, yes, he had one Bristol Cup race where he had a good showing and ultimately didn't get it done, unfortunately, and cried about it on TV. And because he cried on TV, we all feel sorry for him. Yes, he cares. Yes, he wants to succeed. But honestly, the only thing he has accomplished in NASCAR is a single truck win under dubious circumstances by a questionable call from NASCAR that essentially handed him the victory at Talladega, of all places. So I don't necessarily think that this is the guy that's going to go out there and win races and contend for championships. And if I don't feel like that as an owner, why the hell would I sign him? I do not see Matt going anywhere in 2024. Maybe a couple of one-off starts here and there if he can pull the sponsor dollars together. But honestly, Bob Pockers is reporting that there is no plans for him. Nothing is on the table. And I'm right there with Bob. I do not see Matty D being in any of NASCAR's top 3 series full-time in 2024. Sad to say. There's also reports online saying that Kaz Grala has been signed by Rick Ware Racing to be a second full-time driver for the team in 2024. Have not been able to corroborate these reports yet, but supposedly there's an announcement coming within the next few days. I don't think we're going to see an announcement between now and the holidays. Maybe after the holidays we could see this announcement, or frankly later today or tomorrow. But after this weekend, I don't expect much news next week at all because most of the garage area is simply off on vacation, as they should be. The main story today is the fact that NASCAR YouTubers are getting demonetized for using copywritten NASCAR content, and the internet is buzzing with the phrases like, NASCAR's coming after YouTubers. It's simply not true. Let's break it down. NASCAR YouTubers like myself, large and small, all have been getting slammed by demonetization emails from YouTube, claiming that videos that have been up for, in some cases, years, are now using copywritten material from NASCAR. Now, the internet is taking this and essentially running with it, saying, NASCAR's coming after us. NASCAR doesn't want content on YouTube. NASCAR doesn't like us. NASCAR's coming after us. Rah! And yes, I can see how it looks that way to somebody who really doesn't know how YouTube and copywritten material works. This is essentially a massive gray area that, frankly, needs to be worked out a little bit more, not just by NASCAR, but by YouTube more specifically. I know, Big Brother YouTube, I'm not speaking poorly of you. Don't demonetize me. Let me explain how we can be better, please. Yes, it's true. Small and large YouTube channels that primarily focus on NASCAR content, like myself, have all been slammed by demonetization emails from YouTube. Even Brock Beard was simply slammed, tweeting this out this week, and this is not something that has been happening for just this week. It's a process that's been happening over the course of the last year or so. This is not a person from YouTube or NASCAR doing this. This is an automated system doing this. Personally, on this channel, we've had about 20 videos, give or take, demonetized by YouTube, claiming that NASCAR content was used on the channel. While I myself do not use YouTube as a primary source of income, it does help to supplement living in California and my wife's high medical bills, so me getting demonetized by YouTube for some of these videos actually does hit me pretty decently. But other NASCAR content creators have NASCAR content as their sole source of income. They're the ones who are really getting hit hard here. But I know what you're thinking. Why is NASCAR doing this? Why is NASCAR coming after videos that in some cases have been on YouTube for years and in other cases are using content from NR 2003 or iRacing, claiming that they are NASCAR copywritten materials? A service that came online this year that has been in the works within NASCAR for years is the NASCAR Classics website, a website that allows fans to go into the archive, so to speak, of classic race broadcasts and classic race footage and watch essentially any race that they want, with hundreds of races being put up there, some in their entirety and others highlight-based, hitting the internet for the first time ever in some cases. This is an awesome service because it's 100% free, and hardcore NASCAR fans like myself can literally go back and watch races, in some cases, in their entirety from their childhood. Now, what does this have to do with YouTube? Well, when NASCAR started putting this footage online, they had to start registering this footage as copywritten material. This is a process that has been happening from within NASCAR for the better part of the last 3 to 4 years. It's a project that is very, very, very important to NASCAR that they've been working on in the background for years. And yes, they launched their NASCAR Classics channel this year to honestly positive reviews from everybody within the NASCAR community. Honestly, nobody said a bad thing about it. It's wonderful to see these races online, and I think we can all agree on that. But part of registering those digital copies of those races online is that they're now digital works of art and that they are now digitally owned by NASCAR. Frankly, NASCAR should be copywriting this material because it is theirs. Frankly, the entire reason they are doing it is so that a random YouTuber can't simply download the entire race and repost the entire race and start making money off of it when they literally did nothing in order to obtain a fortune or a monetization off of this race footage. Now, the NASCAR YouTubers like myself that are getting hit with these demonetization emails are not simply posting the entire race on their YouTube channel. They're posting sections and clips of races on their YouTube channel, which frankly should be allowed. NASCAR content creators like myself and newsmakers like myself should be allowed to use clips of NASCAR races. There is no questioning that. There is no arguing that. But the question and the gray area is how much of that race clip can you use? What's the time length? 30 seconds? 15 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute? Honestly, give me a time limit. There's really no guidelines for this right now, and I'm hearing that NASCAR is working on putting a better guideline together for NASCAR content creators. But to be clear, the emails that have started going out and the demonetization that has started happening to some of these YouTube clips is done automatically by a bot on YouTube. This is something that YouTube does. NASCAR is not dictating this. NASCAR is not the one who's going through finding these videos and clicking demonetize on these videos. It's YouTube that's doing this. And it's not being done maliciously. It's not being done even by a human being. It's being done by an automatic server and an automatic system. And frankly, that service misses the mark more often than you think. So my biggest piece of advice to NASCAR content creators like myself moving forward is don't use as much footage of on-track action because frankly, you're opening yourself up to the potential of being demonetized. But also, if you think that you've posted a video that is being misdemonetized or being demonetized incorrectly, go ahead and appeal it with YouTube directly in order to get that video remonetized. It's worked for me on a few videos that are legitimate, and a few videos, frankly, I did use footage from NASCAR, and I've accepted the fact that it is now demonetized. That's entirely why you're seeing more of me in the studio, is because I know this isn't copywritten NASCAR material. It's original content that I am creating. And that's the best thing I can honestly say to my fellow NASCAR content creators and fellow creators in general. Use original footage. Create your own footage. Me personally, I'm trying to get out to as many races as I can, but I'm stuck here on the West Coast in Southern California, so I can't get to that many races. But to be abundantly clear, NASCAR is not the one coming after smaller YouTubers and larger YouTubers and removing all of the footage from YouTube. NASCAR wants content creators to exist. NASCAR wants to see the younger audience grow and to see its product be spread amongst every form of media in every possible distribution in every possible way. This is something that NASCAR themselves have told to me personally, and I truly believe that. This is just a system of YouTube, frankly, not working as efficiently as it could. Does that mean that YouTube is flawed and we should all flee YouTube immediately? Absolutely not. It is still a wonderful platform that allows people like myself to have a bigger voice than I would initially on other platforms. I'm not at the point where I can make my sole living on YouTube, unfortunately, but if you want to help with that, you can go ahead and mash that subscribe button right now in order to help support the channel, and you can go ahead and share this video on your social media accounts. It truly helps me simply by watching this video. It helps me out a lot. And you can also go ahead and check out our second new gaming and esport channel, Team Chaos, where we race everything iRacing and do all of our gaming stuff. We moved it over there to that second channel. The link is in the description. Very excited about this new channel, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And now ARN has a brand new website URL. You can log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I want to thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you think about all the silly season news in the comments down below. And if you're a NASCAR content creator, let me know how many videos have been hit with demonetization emails for you personally. Let me know in the comments down below. For Shifting Gears, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track. Bye, Gearheads.